It recognizes our belief in God, our country, not just individuals, our country, our founding fathers codified this in the documents that founded this country. Our reliance, our belief in God, and our reliance upon God. Of that, there's just no debate on that. You may like it, may not like it. Declaration of Independence, we find these truths to be self-evident, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, of which are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It goes on in the Constitution to say we are putting together this Constitution in a preamble to secure the blessings, not only for ourselves, for posterity. And that Constitution followed with a Bill of Rights that enumerated those godly rights given to man, including the very first one, which was a right to believe in God and to express that belief anytime, anywhere, including the public square.
33 million. It's proven to the money investors that people want something to feed their souls, not just their worst desires.
Absolutely.
And
yes, indeed.
This kind of sums up my entire dialogue career on the heat of the night. You ready for this? Okay, this is it. My 7 years on the heat of the night. My dialogue all summarized in this. Get right on it, Chief.
Autry Show. No retreat.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
What the hell's going on out here? Everybody trapping out there. Nobody.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
So, 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable. Free at last! Free at last!
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now, 559-899-1550.
And welcome to Alan Autry No Retreat. It's Big Monday and a wonderful Big Monday. Man, I'm 2 days off. And I'm going to make a whole lot of Joe Biden jokes today.
That's perfect. That's
see
perfect.
What I get? See what I get? Oh, my God, doesn't have a sense of humor. Hey, it's wonderful Wednesday, and I look forward to Wednesday so much because I get to have Sir Lawrence of Powell, the host of Powell to the People. And Guillermo, I'm coming in hot Moreno, Triple G. We'll cover for him because he's not here yet. He'll be here soon. But I tell you, I look forward to Wednesday so much because I tell you, God, I love the San Joaquin Valley.
Oh, it's a great place to live. Alan, that was a great entry, though. I mean, we're talking about Biden's gaffes. So the Lord has a sense of humor, too. You know that.
Well, I'm going to actually take up for Jill. Here, let's do it again. I'm going to actually take up for her. And not because I blew the opening either. No, I really am. I think.
Well, you talked about that before you blew the opening, so yes.
Well, I guess I was subliminally had to not say, well, we had Taco Tuesday yesterday. And I'm going to have to say I had a chance to breakfast Taco Tuesday here at KXEX. But I just love the San Joaquin Valley. I tell you, people ask me why I live here, in particular Fresno. I look at it because I like it.
Great place.
I love the people. I'm reminded of what Ken Curtis, who was doing a guest spot on the heat of the night, of Festus fame. Yes, that Ken Curtis, great guy. And during his stint there, a guest starring on Heat of the Night, we got struck up a conversation. Come to find out he's living in Clovis.
Yes.
I didn't know that at times. So we had to talk about it. And I asked him.
Had a statue.
The statue there. But, the whole time I'm talking, I'm going, this guy sounds like a pioneer. He can live everywhere. no, why Clovis? That's close to Fresno. And I asked him, I go, why Clovis? And he said exactly what I did. Well, Alan, I just love the people. I was there at the rodeo one day. And actually, I'm doing a pretty good, kid. Kurt.
Yes, you are.
That's right. He says, I was at the rodeo, and the people were so nice to me. And my wife and I were driving back to L.A., and I looked at her, and she looked at me. And I said, did you have as good a time as I did? She looked at me and said, I sure did, Ken. She said, are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? And she says, I'm thinking we might want to move there. What are you thinking?
It.
I'm saying the same thing. They packed up their truck and moved to Beverly Hills, come to Clovis, and I get it. I mean, there's a lot of good people everywhere. I've moved around a lot in my 69 years. I've never, not internationally. I haven't been too many places. I went through Europe one time on the way to Malta to do Popeye. But in the United States, I've lived. And the only place, and now there's good people everywhere.
Yeah, there are.
There's good people in San Francisco and L.A. that think just like we do, that feel just like we do about things. But, the only place that comes close to me is the South. My 7 years on Heat of the Night, travel all around the South, and it reminds me a lot of the San Joaquin Valley here. All the little towns too, Wood Lake, Parlier, Riverdale, Layton, Madera, Fresno, Hanford. I mean, and then our beloved Fresno. I mean, they're just good people. And in today's day and time,
we need that.
Stands for something a little bit more than it.
Oh, it really does.
Used to, doesn't it?
This is a great place. I have no desire to be anyplace else. And
you've been here longer.
I've been here a long time. Yeah. But I have no desire to be anyplace else. But I love the fact that the Lord has not put me someplace else. So thank you, Lord.
Yeah, He can do that.
Yes, He can.
Hey, I was outside, and as I was walking in, I looked up in the air, and it was a bird? It was a plane? No, it was soaring inflation. Did you see those numbers?
9.1%.
Triple G just slipped in here. I'm going to blow your cover. Let me see. We're on Lombardi time here.
Man.
We're on Lombardi time, and you're way late, brother.
I'm on taco time.
I'm on
Latino time, all right?
You're on breakfast taco time.
Yes.
See, no, you're on lunch taco, which is 15 minutes late.
Hey, why
breakfast taco, you would have been here 10 minutes early.
Because of my ethnicity,
don't play on busy card.
I identify as being on time, all right? So, I identify as being on time.
Was that a meme what they call a meme that you sent me?
A GIF.
No, that's not on the.
Yeah,
what's
a little taco going like this.
Folks, he sends me this thing after the Jill Biden gap. Well, we know who writes Joe Biden speeches now, don't we? Well, that mystery's been solved. Solved it, as practically so said.
Man.
But he sends me this little gap, whatever it was.
GIF.
GIF?
Is it GIF or GIF?
Anyway, it's
GIF.
GIF.
And he says, I'm a taco! Exclamation point. And it's just taco like on a go-kart with this big grin on his face.
Hey, listen, Hispanics know what they're doing when
watch it. You're making a broad brush.
No.
You're going to get in trouble.
What kind of tacos are you talking
when
about?
it comes to siesta, when's the best time to take a siesta? When it's hot like crazy in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And what do? We go out and work, and Hispanics have it together. They work early and work late, and they sleep during the heat. That's a smart move.
Mine was during city council meetings.
You had your siesta?
Oh, gosh. They could put me to sleep.
That was
I had some great slumber.
Siesta.
It was better than temazepam, man. I just sit there and let them drone on, man. Tell Georgianne, hey, don't wake me up in about an hour and a half when they adjourn. A lot of people accused me of sleeping through 8 years as mayor. I get it. I teed that one up for you, didn't I? All right, let's talk about, we're going to run through these things real quick. I want to get your thoughts on it. Any surprise? 9.1, the CPI index, computer price index, which is, I guess, is the barometer to tell you whether you're really in trouble inflation or not. There's different ways to measure it. But the consumer price index. But they don't have food in there. That's in a different category. So this is the other stuff. But we've seen what food's doing.
Food and gas.
But 9.1, the highest in 40 years. And where's this thing going?
Well, it went up.
Is it going to go higher?
Up when everybody said it was going to go down some, or at least stay
people
the
thought
same.
It was going to go down this time.
They did, but I'll tell you what. Whenever there's fear creates the potential for more inflation. And let me tell you what I think's happening. I think when you look at the Omicron and the new variant off of that is just absolutely getting widespread again. Obviously not as hospitalization type stuff as it was before. I think people are afraid that they're going to get shut down again, and so they're raising prices to make as much as they can.
That's a good theory.
Right now.
That's
I
a
think
good
that's what's happening.
theory.
And think about it. You know, I'm paying prices that I never imagined I would ever pay from people that would normally not raise prices. You know, so but there's fear, and I think fear is driving a lot of this. They don't want to get caught with no money, you know, no resources, and the craziness of a possible shutdown. But I also think nobody's going to go for a shutdown again.
Yeah, Kim used to give me my neck massages for free. Now it's $20 last night. It's $20. But you know, as Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Yes.
And a Joe Biden presidency.
No,
See, they cut off that part. Let me ask you, does Jerome Powell pull the old interest rate lever?
Yeah.
Raise it up?
Yeah. There's already rumors that that's going to happen. What's interesting about this is the fact that I guess for the last, I would say 5 or 6 years, the left has been so concerned about the poor, minorities, the impoverished, and all the while they've also vilified companies and success. Now we're in a situation, unfortunately, where you have the people that have been beat up. I mean, the corporations, the mom and pops. Everyone thinks that everyone that owns a business is like the monopoly man. They got money bags and they got, they own Boardwalk.
They think if
I can't even buy the wood to build a boardwalk.
A lot of people out there thinks that if a business makes $250,000 a year, $250,000, that they're just loaded. Yeah. That's a very small business. Once you pay employees down, you're clearing what? $1.50?
Yeah. If you're lucky. In this state with minimum.
Larry, you're the
lucky.
educator. Why don't they have economics in schools anymore and teach these kids?
Yeah, why don't you guys teach me that?
Basic economics?
Well,
remember home
we
ec?
do teach it.
Remember home ec used to be around?
Yeah.
Well, you at least taught one person, one gender.
Yeah.
And it should have been it should have been guys in there too, kids in there saying, here's what it costs. You got to budget.
Let me tell you what
I
used to teach seniors a class called Marriage and the Family. And what we did.
Good luck with trying to teach that now.
Yeah, I know. We would go out. You remember Levitt's Furniture?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
We had a partnership with them, we'd go out there, take a busload of kids, and they had to buy furniture for their future house. They had to buy insurance from an insurance company.
Great stuff.
They had to have a checkbook. They had to do all those kind of things. If they bought insurance when we spun the Wheel of Fortune, something happened and they were covered with insurance, they were okay. If they didn't buy insurance, they were in trouble.
I love that.
They take metal shop out, wood shop out, home ec out.
Yep.
I mean, so what's the reasoning behind this? Now you have kids, generations, that they have no idea how, number one, make a meal, to go into to budget. You know, they said, budget? What's that?
No, they had to do a budget.
I know what a budget is. And those things were taught in home ec.
Yeah. And I taught it in Marriage and the Family.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me piggyback off of that. Could it be consumers are seeing prices rise, right? And then they watch the media and figure it out. If they're watching CNN, they're saying, well, it's because of those greedy companies and it's because of Putin. Could it be that we got an even bigger problem besides the oncoming recession and this current inflation
here?
Well,
go ahead. I don't want to train of thought.
I agree to a certain degree, but could it be that the American consumer, because they weren't taught good budgeting skills, because they don't know why things go up, the left and the people that pull the levers are eventually going to be able to just keep covering themselves, which is why Joe Biden and the left don't care, because people don't understand. People don't understand. They don't understand economics. They don't understand when prices go up. They don't understand labor. They don't understand hiking up minimum wage.
Let me ask you this. Just take a gut. Just take a gut level response to this. This is going to have to be a guess. I don't think there's any. I imagine the data may be out there.
You don't think I know the data?
Well, how many of the folks that surround Biden in his cabinet?
Zero.
Okay. You know what I'm going to ask?
0.0.
Have had any real experience in a quote unquote real job.
Yeah. Outside of government.
Outside of government.
I heard some stats. It was like 75% don't know what they're doing. And this, I think it might have been on Hugh Hewitt's show. 25% of the people he surrounds himself know what they're doing.
By that, you mean 25% have had a job in the private sector?
Or wherever they're, like Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, doesn't have no idea about transportation.
How do you say that?
Pete Buttigieg.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, but Trump said it. Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
It's Buttigieg.
Yeah,
Buttigieg. Buttigieg.
Okay, I've got to figure that out.
I talked to a radio host in that market who told me that Pete Buttigieg, when he interviewed him for the first time, made him practice it. multiple
right?
times. Yeah.
Write it on a chalkboard?
Yeah. And
I had to do that. Mr. Groeling made me do that. I forget what it was for.
Let me tell you, teachers, they say it's Mr. B.
Mr. B.
You just go
That's
with
easy.
Mr.
Yeah,
B.
that's easy.
Yeah, I could get you in trouble.
But you
too.
know, one other
from
thing-
the wrong conservative mouth, they
One
try to
other-
translate it and going, come on, it doesn't take much.
One other thing that's happening is when you have this concept that I can print money so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's been happening. That we'll just print more money.
Yeah.
So
It's amazing how
No
many
idea
people
of what
think that.
happens in economy when you do that.
Okay. Let's go.
One last thing. Piggyback off of that. Retirement too.
Yeah.
My generation, like a lot of my friends, I won't say all of them, aren't even saving for retirement.
Well, they don't expect to make it there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because the world's going to end, of course.
Yeah,
Climate
absolutely.
change. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and these IRA, I agree. It's
Deferred gratification is not something this generation and our generations coming are learning. That if you want something, in the old days, and Paul Dictos, who is our county assessor, said he will not buy a house unless he has money to buy the house. He's Greek. His background is Greek. And so he now owns quite a bit of property, but he waits until the family has the money to buy something. So he's not in debt. We live in a debt economy, and a debt economy leads to death eventually.
Yeah.
So it's very hard.
Okay, moving on. Let me take a little sip of my latte.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
You know why I get lattes on Wednesday?
Why?
Because I love both of you, a whole latte. And I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. This is symbolic of a great love.
Have
for
another
both of you.
drink while we
All
talk.
right, quick subjects here before we go to break.
We're going to change the type of drink real soon in this presidency.
Okay, Jose Alba. They're in New York. You follow the bodega?
It's Bodega.
Bodega.
It's Bodegas. Yes, I do follow Bodegas.
Bodega, Colombia. Jose Alba, the man that worked at the bodega, I don't know if he owns it or just employed there, but was attacked by a guy, just got out of prison, and in fear for his life, stabbed him. The young man died. The Alvin Bragg, the DA there in New York, was quick to arrest him, charge him with murder. Well, there's been an uprising. The Bodega Association just went and spoke with Alvin Bragg the other day, and they said he's maybe changing his tune. Do you think they're going to convict him or not? Are they going to charge him? I don't see a jury convicting him in New York at all. They know what's going. The people know. But do you think does this DA? I mean, he's got a chance to save his job. If he's looking out of California and going, just Bodine's gone, Gascon's toast. The turrets are turned on me with this case. What do you think he does?
Yeah, he's not going to charge him.
I don't think so.
Gonna have. I think Mayor Adams actually came out in support of the Bogota owner as well. So they're not going to do it. When it comes to the consequences bearing down on them, they'll change real quick. But if it's the voters, you guys can deal with the criminal.
See, I like kids in the abstract, not in the concrete.
Yes.
That's
but
the
I
way
mean, you look
Is
at
that like a mobster thing too?
But if they didn't have that video, this man would be
Oh,
toast.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be.
Yep.
You're right.
It would be absolute toast.
There'd
but
be no defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And the thing is, you're taught back in the day, you don't go behind the counter. This guy, the assailant, went behind the counter.
Yeah.
Back in the day, hey, we knew that probably the guy that ran the convenience store in Riverdale, anyplace else, had a gun underneath, had a form of protection underneath that counter.
Gun, a baseball bat,
and the
or
deal
something.
is, you can get mad, you can do this, and you can cuss me and whatever. We can work it out, but you don't go behind. If you go behind the counter, game on. Because you're gonna. I'm in fear of my life.
Threatened. Yes.
Yes. I was told that early. Well, I never had the urge to go behind the counter because I was chicken, and I would have never done that. But this guy went around, obviously, and the whole thing. You have a line of, but gosh darn it, you get this far left woke movement. I guarantee you, even on The View, they're saying, well, he didn't have to grab the knife. How do you know he was going to kill him? How do you know? How did he know that he wasn't just going to yell at him and slap him and let him go?
Yeah. And at the funeral, he's going to be Mother Teresa watch. Oh, he was the nicest guy. I'm going to miss him so much.
And all of these guys, if it was happening to Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon or any of these the wokesters, that would have happened to them. That guy would have been in Salem. They'd be screaming, blow his head off! blow his head off, blow his freaking head off. Don't wound him.
Yeah.
You know they would be saying that if they would ever be scared to death.
Well, my daughter and son-in-law had a party, get together, had a bunch of their friends over. 2 friends went out and sat on the front lawn, and a car drove up, pulled up right by the side where they were, and rolled the window down and said, "Give me your wallet," and pointed a gun at them and said, "Don't be stupid. Give me your wallet," and robbed them right there, sitting on the lawn right out front.
They're home?
Yes, right out front.
Oh, they're brazen.
So
there's no consequences.
Yeah, so I know what it's like because I talked to them, and it would not matter. The fear level for someone who's not used to that kind of confrontation just skyrocketed. They almost couldn't get their wallet out, literally, and couldn't hand over the purse because of the fear.
They're so scared.
Yeah, and so for anybody to say what you're going to do when you're under that kind of fear, they have no clue.
Have you ever had a loaded gun pointed at you by somebody you didn't know?
I have not.
Have you?
Never.
I have.
Only by people that know me.
I have. It's
not
It
fun.
is an experience you don't want to.
No.
Is that going to be in the book?
I don't know. It was. I won't go into the details of how that happened.
Yeah.
But it is something you will never forget. You have that gun point. You see right down the barrel, aimed at your chest.
Yeah.
About 3 feet away, and it's a life-changing experience,
man.
And you see the guy behind that. You know that any instant.
Even a mistake,
Oh, yeah, and you can't move because you're sitting there going, if you move, you're He'll think, can you negotiate your way out of it?
This young couple, it was awful for them. I mean, terrible.
I'm reminded of the old Jack Benny bit. The guy, the assailant jumps out with a gun, says, "Your money or your life?" Jack Benny says, "Let me think." He was notoriously a tightwad. Right. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, LeBron James is at work again, and Jill Biden gave a historic speech the other day to Latinx, the Latinx convention, which represents about 3% of Hispanics. And we're going to grace you with that, with some of the excerpts from that wonderful speech. This is Alan Autry, No Retreat, with Larry Powell and Triple G, Guillermo Moreno. We'll be right back. Yeah, that was you never forget that.
I've been faced with angry kids, who unfortunately I had the ability to talk most of them down. But one time we didn't, and the principal and I had to take down a kid at a high school in the office who had just gone crazy, and the TAC officer was being attacked, and the youth TAC officer, and he said, "Jump in anytime."
Okay? Wow.
So, and 3 of us could barely hold this kid down.
The big kid?
Yes. 3 of us. And I'm a wrestler. I'm bench pressing 320 at the time.
Wow.
Was he
very
high?
strong.
Was the kid high?
We don't know for sure. But I'll tell you what, when a kid gets that energy going and they're a 200-pounder plus, it's hard.
Well, remember when that PCP epidemic was going around?
Oh, yeah.
the strength that these folks
Super
had.
energized strength.
Yeah, and you didn't have to be even a big person.
No.
Stories cops would give the supernatural strength of this PCP that they were on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
I wouldn't recommend
Yeah, probably not. Stay away from Stay away from trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
new calls to drop murder charge versus
bodega worker. Yeah. Good. Well, it doesn't make sense,
They're not going to charge the woman who started it, who stabbed Alba. She took out a knife and stabbed him. She's not going to be charged at all.
Of course not.
Wow.
Well, that first segment, we just flew through that.
It was wild.
Well, the National Association of Latino State Chambers.
Yep.
All you got to do is vote, guys.
Yep.
Wow.
Our Facebook folks, listen, we're so glad you're listening. Alan absolutely loves his Autry's Army.
Yes.
No doubt about it. And all the comments that we get are just fantastic. And, And I know on your personal Facebook, I get a lot of the folks send in things, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Great comments.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
Wonderful.
Mostly you guys. They don't like me.
They love you, man. They love Triple G.
Yeah. He's taking a siesta, so he's not reading his internet now.
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
So I forgot my Facebook password.
Oh, dude, I don't even know what
they
mine
won't
is.
give it to you either.
They won't exactly.
Won't give it to
30
you.
seconds.
So I've switched phones now, so I only got one computer that I have Facebook on. And once that goes, I'm done. I'm off Facebook. I can't change it.
I know.
I don't know what they do. What do they do a directory with all the criminals that are released? Call it Face Crook. You know, and you can go on there and you can see where they
10
reside.
seconds.
You know, communicate with them. Hey, if you come to my
And
neighborhood,
they
I'll
can talk
be
to
in
each other. They can have like best
Yes.
friends.
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now. 559-899-1550.
And welcome back to Alan Autry No Retreat. Larry Powell and Triple G, Guillermo Moreno. Okay, LeBron is at it again. People say, what do you got against LeBron? I don't got anything against him. I got something against his big mouth and his brain. Did you hear what he said the other day? He said that, hey, America, get with it. You know, if Brittany Griner, if I was her, I don't know if I would even want to come back to America. Yeah, stay in Russia. I mean, here's a country that made you a billionaire.
Yeah.
My young brother, I want you to, you're so influential. You're losing your influence.
Yeah.
Statement by statement. And I'm with, hey, I'm not apologizing for Russia, but you got to understand, not every country has liberalized drugs like the United States of America. A lot of countries still think it's bad for society to have a bunch of illegal drugs around, and they take it seriously.
Yep.
And you mean to tell me that she didn't know that? She didn't know that coming in. Where's the personal responsibility? And then you want to blame America? How about saying the two words, Joe Biden? I mean, again, I'm not a Trumpster. I'm not I'm accused of this. I just point out facts. You know that Donald Trump, when he was president in one term, got 50 people out of 22 countries, including Iran and Yemen.
Wow.
Going back in, that Donald Trump. Where is Biden? Well, he's poisoned the water so much with Putin that he can't, that Putin won't even take his call, probably.
Oh, yeah. No.
And so you're sitting there completely neutered, not being able to do anything, trying to get Bill Richardson to hustle over there. Bill Richardson, Putin go,
the ex-governor?
Bill Richardson. Who Bill Richardson?
Yeah,
that's going to insult him even more.
Oh
At least you're seeing that Blinken or one of these guys over there.
Would someone take me? Send Hunter.
Send Hunter.
Man, he'll come back over here with
money and with
her and more marijuana. I mean, would someone please take
Miguel Arias over there?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Get Miguel over there. He'll tell them anything. He'll say anything to get them released.
That's a team. Hunter and Miguel. We'll walk away with Ukraine. We'll walk away with the deed to Ukraine. You send Miguel and Hunter over there.
They'll slip Vladimir Putin some of those gummy bears loaded with
they'll be rushing to send him back.
They'll be at that table and have to toss them to him. Hey, Mr. Premier, take this. Open your mouth and see if we got one. Isn't this fun?
Listen, do you ever feel like a lot of folks that I talk to, even when I go out of state and not knowing the laws of that state?
Yes.
I'm cautious and careful. I'm really particular when I'm driving that I don't violate something.
The cell phone one is always hard for me.
Cell phone stuff,
illegal here, not illegal.
You know, but that's why would you go to Russia with anything that would put you in jeopardy?
To me, first of all, you have to. This young lady and a great basketball player, and otherwise, other than hating her country, it appears to be a good person. I mean, I don't agree with that. This is a country that's allowed you to have a great life. You go over there to make money of Russia, who is kind of an adversary. So you're over for an adversarial country, making millions. And then when you get, you know what in the ringer, you expect the systemically racist country that you put down every day to come running to your rescue. A little presumptuous, don't you think?
Just a bit. This really shows two things. Number one, the fact that LeBron James and the left really don't understand how world affairs really work.
Right.
You can't just call up a country and be like, hey, can you send me back my citizen? That doesn't work. That's number one. Number two, this shows how entitled and above everyone else. It's this elitist mentality where, hey, she's, you know what? She needs to come back because she's an athlete and she makes a lot of money.
Yes.
You know how many Americans don't have a lot?
Well, Paul Whelan has been over there for, he just got sentenced to 18 years on very flimsy charges that say he was a spy. Now, you're going to send a former Marine over there automatically. They do the background. They know who comes in, who comes out. And I guess the charges are just completely flimsy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even get indicted here in America for such thing. Been over there for 18 months, been sentenced, I think, to 18 years. I may have a little bit of that wrong, but he's still there. So don't play the race card.
And there are a lot of no-name people who have gone through the same thing from America that have had drugs on them or something, but they don't have a position, they don't have fame, and they've not been helped at all.
And having said that, look, put a little button on it. I want Brittany Griner home. I just hope she's learned something. You know, what man meant for evil, or woman meant for evil, God meant for good. Hopefully, when this is all said and done and she's back home and her release is negotiated and done, I think that's going to happen, that she rethinks some of her thoughts about this country. You know, we've always said, hey,
she won't.
She's
going to come back with even.
You know, part of me says, you're right, Guillermo. I feel that way. The other part of me saying, you know, never give up hope that, you know, I can see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
They'll get released and it'll be, what took you so long?
Oh, yeah, what took you so long? You know, it really wasn't that bad over there. I just want to tell you, they treated me so, it'll be this entire political movement. She'll come back hating America even more and probably praising Russia. That's how off base this woke left is.
I hope you're wrong. I do. I hope you're wrong. Okay, let's get to, again, we wish Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, I believe Paul's his first name, you know, to get released and get back home. All right, let's play these sound bites from Jill Biden because I'm going to kind of take up for little Jill here. Dr. Jill.
I'm not calling her a doctor anymore. I'm good.
This is a speech. Is this the first? Okay, this is the CSA.
Podway.
Okay, my slogan when I ran for mayor in 2000, actually started in 1999, was "Yes, we can." In fact, Barack Obama, I think, stole that from me. He stole it
clearly.
Well, I stole it from Cesar Chavez. But hey, I'm putting it on the table there. I had the English version, but I like the slogan "Yes, we can" because in Fresno we had felt that we couldn't do certain things. I think the mindset, I was like, yes, we can. We can be a great city. We can compete with any city in the country. So, so yes, we can. And then it's a slogan that as I said, Cesar Chavez made famous of the farm workers out here in the valley of "Si se puede." Did I say that correctly, right?
Way better than Jill.
Okay. Well, Jill gets up there. She's this was prior to the speech at the Latinx conference, but here she's going to inspire the Hispanic people. Go ahead and run this. And
so say it with me. Si se puede. The future is ours.
Now,
the 5 people that were there.
Well,
I don't know.
That's so embarrassing right now to me. I just
run that one more time. Run it one more time if you can.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That's
wow.
I love the crowd.
We're gonna break
so
this.
Say it with me. Si se puede. The future is ours.
Well, it sounds more like "Si se padre." Yes, we daddy. Yeah.
Oh man.
Is it Padre Father?
Now we know
something?
the source of what's happening to Joe.
Yeah, we know who writes the speeches now, don't we?
Yeah. Been putting those together for him.
But it's a double down embarrassment because she said she wanted to say "Si se puede." Yes, we can. Si se puede. But then the translation was wrong. You know, she goes, "Si se puede. The future is ours." She says in English. That's not even the right translation of the phrase.
Oh no.
So, you know, I think we understand. They do not. I have a very low estimation of the people around her and him. Obviously, it was not a meritocracy. When that wasn't the guiding principle hired. It was just like, you know, there's the group, check boxes. But if you've got, you don't even have an Ivy League degree. You could have a degree from Slippery Rock. No intention, no disrespect.
Is that a school?
Slippery Rock. No, you could have one to Trump International University in existence or whatever. You could have that, dude. You could have your whatever. You
you would see that error. You would tell her, look, you know what that means? No, we know you don't know Spanish. So she obviously didn't check it with anybody.
Well, how about
she just went out there. She just went, huh?
How about Ich ein Berliner? When Kennedy went to Germany, you don't think he didn't practice? I think he practiced that before he ever said it. I don't think she ever practiced it.
Oh, gosh. No.
Saw it on the paper there and tried to interpret it.
That's what I mean. I don't think they check with anybody. Well, she follows up that great performance. A couple of days ago, she's at the Latinx. Of which
progressive Latinx
Latinx, of which they did a survey recently, and only 3% of the Latina people want this. They're insulted by it because it seeks to wipe out Latina and Latino. Have you told a Mexican lately, don't say the words Latina and Latino or mijo and mija?
Oh, you'll get slapped.
You'll get
yeah.
I mean, it's
by me, Papa.
Laughable, but she's there to curry favor here with a Latinx group. And here's what she says. Go ahead, run this.
The United States, Dr. Jill
Oh
Biden.
God, she has no idea what she's going to say.
Diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Did you see her? I actually didn't watch it video. Did you see her face?
Yeah.
No,
she
I was
squirmed
looking
after
down.
she said it.
After she said breakfast tacos or Bogotas?
No, the tacos. I think she really thought it was still. She probably still thinks. She didn't even.
The Hispanic community's hopping mad, Guillermo. Triple G. What do you?
She didn't even apologize, right? It was her communications guy apologized for her.
Yeah.
Well, of course not. Joe Biden hasn't apologized.
I can't believe
he hasn't apologized to the Border Patrol people by saying they were whipping immigrants from a horse. Even when they came out and said they did a complete investigation, just came out yesterday, that no immigrant was hit by a rain, but he still hasn't apologized.
They used foul language.
All right,
that was the worst.
I'm going to get in trouble here with my more conservative brethren. I'm going to take up for Joe Biden. Number one, the Bogotas. I didn't know what a bodega was till my son moved to New York. He says, I was at a bodega. And I said, what's a bodega? He explained what a bodega was. So I went to New York. I said, hey, let's go to a bodega. And I went and saw a lot of bodegas. Little grocery stores is what they are.
Owned by,
very overpriced, but they don't have any place for Walmarts or Kroger's or whatever.
For that rent there.
Yeah, exactly right. So anybody living in New York knows what a bodega. I would think that, being in politics, her husband, like 50 years, that they probably spent a lot of time in New York.
Yeah.
You would have heard the term. So I'm kind of surprised at that. And now the breakfast taco thing. On this show, I think you were on the show with me when we did this. I don't see the food racism thing at all. I don't see the offense, any ethnicity. If somebody came to me, oh, you're from Shreveport, Louisiana, you must like that crawfish and etouffee, I would say, yeah, it is. Come on down.
No, Alan, I don't. You can't go up to an Asian American and be like, hey, you like.
No, I've said
you like white.
I would say you got you all probably have the best noodles and rice because they perfected. But you would. I would not go into a Taco Bell. I would go to an authentic Mexican food restaurant because authentic Mexican restaurant is primarily made by Mexicans with the heritage of that food. I'm just saying I don't see it. I'm going to be open to being educated on it. But I just haven't got that. Now, having said that,
not taco.
Okay. Now, having said that, okay. So I find her innocent on those charges. Boom. But having said that,
I object.
Buddha judge.
Having said that, okay, she should have known the audience, the progressive. Everything is racist. Yeah. You do a food association or whatever. They find math is racist. If you're good at math, you're racist. Why? Because if you knew it was racist, you wouldn't study. Science is been. If you don't get an F in science, you're a racist. You got an A in science? You're a racist. Well, I'm Hispanic. Well, you're the brown face of white supremacy.
There you go.
Go in there and get those Fs. Don't go to that class. Well, look at you. Can't study math because it's racist. Science because it's racist. Certainly can't study history is racist. So what do you study? You go and do recess. Great. Teachers don't have to grade because grading's racist. Give somebody an A and F. So what a position for teachers. You don't have to be held accountable. Nothing that. You just Zoom from home, baby. Everybody gets an A. That's the deal. So she should have known the audience. That
you know,
explain
when
my
your
point there.
friendly
Oh, yeah.
audience, when your friendly audience goes,
Yeah.
you know, takes a breath, you know something's wrong.
If you were a food, let me ask you, it just came to my mind.
And what about this? You know, her speechwriter goes,
Yeah. Did they show that really?
no.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, at least that shows something there. Let me ask you, if you were
Wow.
a food, what would you be? What would you want to identify as a food?
Probably lobster.
Really?
Yes.
I think I'd want to. I think if I was a food, I'd be like a pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw.
Oh my God.
I want
Well, I
that
think
drawn butter on a
somehow
lobster, baby.
I have a. But is that you internalize that? If you were that, you would want to be that. How about you? I see. I see you as a big old fillet.
I don't. Is that a compliment or?
I don't know. It's just a food. It just comes into my crazy
Maybe
mind.
like a tofu. You know those little tofu bricks?
Yeah, really.
Maybe just a
that's
brick
right.
of tofu.
You would identify as it has to be something vegetarian.
I'm vegetarian.
vegan.
Yeah. Brick of tofu.
Like some steamed broccoli.
Oh,
That really smells though.
Best Foods
Yeah, no.
makes the best vegan mayonnaise. Have you
That's
tried it?
Swalwell's favorite.
Who?
Best Foods vegan mayonnaise is fantastic.
Is it vegan or vegan?
Vegan.
Bodega, Bodega. Bodega.
Remember, God has a funny sense of humor today with you.
Tomato.
I'll see you later.
All right. Okay. Let's. Real quick here. Let's. Oh,
No, you're not going to, are you?
I think it's time. I think it's time.
Oh, our producer.
Uh-oh. For hard choices.
Again, the production at this station is just, it's
Off the chart.
Unmatched.
It's unmatched.
Unmatched production.
The rest, thank God, right? It's unmatched.
Oh, boy.
Nobody can match this. Even a WKPU in Natchez, Mississippi cannot match.
Oh, man.
All right.
It's a radio station out of Tuna, Texas.
I can't help it. This segment is taking on a life of its own. People want it, so we're going to give them what they want.
All
Okay.
right.
Questions for hard choices here. Question number 1. There's a no-holds-barred death match between Adam Schiff and Sarah Palin. Who wins?
Oh, come on.
Larry,
Really?
we will start with you.
Oh, boy, that's a hard one, but I probably would go with Sarah.
Weapons are allowed.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Definitely Sarah.
she's probably got a harpoon for a whale. So,
No, she'll catch him in that bear trap first.
Yeah, she'll get him one way or
Then make him
another.
suffer.
Those Alaskan folks are tough.
So you're going Sarah.
I'm going with Sarah.
Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Because she's just tougher?
No, she's tougher.
You gotta have the reason.
Listen, if you go through what she went through, you have to be tough.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to be tough. The criticism, all the stuff.
Very good. Very good. Triple G.
Sarah Palin, just because Adam Schiff, I think with the wind, would just be blown over. So Sarah Palin, she doesn't even have to work. It's Adam Schiff. I mean,
I don't think he'd come out of the corner.
He wouldn't even.
I don't think he'd come out of his
He wouldn't
corner. I'd be
get in the
totally
ring.
intimidated.
He would just come out and just do a flop. I'm done.
Those eyes would be up there like that. Like, I'm supposed to wrestle that.
Or you just say Trump, and then he just
Collapses.
fall over, collapse.
Okay. Hard choice number 2. Spelling bee. And the spelling bee. Who wins the spelling bee between Joe Biden and George W. Bush
Oh man,
of strategery fame?
And nuclear.
Who wins? Joe Biden, he graduated top of his class, Joe Biden, right?
Yeah, 2 people were in the class.
Yeah. He finished second. Everybody else tied for first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're tough on Joe. We're just kidding, folks. Gosh, go ahead.
that'd be fun to
All right,
watch.
spelling
though.
bee. Spelling bee. Go ahead. So we start with you. No, we started with Larry last
Go
time. So
for
let's
it.
go with you, Triple G.
Triple G.
I'm gonna have to say W. I really am.
W, and
it's
why?
a hard choice though, because he can at least put a sentence together most of the time. Whereas Joe, he's
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's younger. Yeah. W.
Mine works a little bit better. Larry Powell.
Yeah, I got to go with the artist, and that's W.
Okay.
Because have you seen some of his paintings? I mean, he's
a pretty
really,
good painter.
really good.
He's gotten
painter.
better.
He's gotten really better, yeah.
He's-
And you know what? As good as any president I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, he kind of
Is he
started
doing that like that YouTube guy that
Yeah,
does the
that's
thing?
right.
What's his name? I like him.
Oh, he was good.
Oh, the
Golly, with the hair.
yeah.
Got the hair. Gosh, he's nice.
Now
I
we're gonna
love
put
him.
a happy tree.
Yes, I just like to hear him
Happy
talk.
Tree, right? Happy tree.
He said he can teach anybody how. Is he still alive?
No.
He passed
I don't
away.
We're not
think he
teaching
is.
anyone,
Okay.
Alan.
All right, here we move on to the next hard choice. Jesse Smollett and Amber Heard go on a date. They come back to you two and accuse each other of abuse. Who do you believe? Larry, we'll start with you.
Oh, boy.
This is a hard one.
I don't believe anything that Jesse says at all. Jesse. And so I have a really hard time because his was so fabricated. At least hers had a sense of maybe it could be true.
Okay.
His was so far out there was no way.
So
and she has some on the record of truth. So she's got some, in court. Some of it was true. And the jury even awarded 10% to her. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think she had a little truth. He had no truth.
Even if she, even
that's
if she
so
sa-
true.
Even if she says that he brought 2 Nigerian hitmen with him.
it's still.
Well, in that case, that changes my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Triple G, who do you believe?
I was already going to go with Amber Heard, but I really like Larry Powell's reasoning and rationale. Mine was just more gender. Like she's a female. I'll believe her over. I believe women more than I do men, anyways.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
All right, we got just a couple more to go here, and hard choices. Who do you take redneck lessons? How to be a redneck from? Kid Rock.
Oh, for sure.
Or Ted Nugent.
Oh man, no, Kid Rock.
You.
Kid Rock.
You're going with the rock?
Kid Rock. Yeah.
I don't know, the bow and arrows there with the hat out there in the woods. Kid Rock, the rocks. Huh? Okay.
I go with Kid
For
Rock.
what reason?
I don't. He'd be.
You just got it.
I don't know. I like Kid Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
He give you the better.
I got to go
how
with
to be a
Nugent.
redneck.
And the reason I go with Nugent is that I love music, and very few of the famous big-time music guys are rednecks, but he's one. And I love him taking stands even when it could cost him. I've got to give him props on that.
Okay.
On that. So that's
excellent. Yeah, good reasons, you guys. I got to commend you. We have the last. Can we have the drum roll, Jeremy? The last hard choices question of today on Big Wednesday. Who has put more hickeys on Donald Trump's butt? Congressman Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, or Devin Nunes?
Too quick to answer, Guillermo. Too quick to answer.
So we'll start. Do you need to repeat the question?
Yes.
Who has put more hickeys to this point on former President Trump's butt? Jim Jordan, Congressman Jim Jordan from Ohio, Senator Lindsey Graham, or our own Devin Nunes?
Oh, Devin is a good friend, so that's really tough.
It's a tough one.
This
This is probably the hardest choice we've ever had on a segment here.
It is
because there's a lot of hickeys on that rear end, man. I mean, a lot of them. It's like hogs at the trough.
Oh man!
But
get that. Get my cheek. Get out of here, Devin.
Oh, this is definitely getting back to Devin.
I love you, Devin.
Hey, clearly,
I love you. You know that.
But
You
it's
did a
gotta
great job. I love Devin.
It's got to
Nunes.
be Devin for good reasons, though.
Devin
is that he took care of his family by got a real job.
Well, you're very so you're assuming that there is a good reason to put a hickey on a butt
Well,
cheek.
I mean, he's running truth, isn't he? You know, that's his
it.
New website.
That hickey paid off.
New app. You know.
As much as truth can be ran, I guess.
Okay,
Love you,
Guillermo,
Devin.
we go to you.
Oh, Devin, come on. Jim Jordan, Senator Lindsey Graham. He's
tough to beat. Because let's face it, there's a lot of hickeys from all of them on there. This is, I said, one of the toughest hard choices, I think. Because when I put these together, I have to go through it. What I pick, but
Devin, he's employed by him. He's employed by him. I mean, imagine the amount of hickeys that you had to give to just be employed by Devin Nunes. I mean, come on,
leaving Congress early.
Yeah, Trump had a choice on
took
who he
care of his family.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we need to. Who's going to contact Devin and tell him the great news that he's been awarded the champion hickey giver?
Larry Powell is raising his hand in the studio.
Love you, all Devin. Right, so that's our segment. How much time we have left on this show ever? I'm going to get canceled from Truth. What is it? Truth Social. Truth Social.
Yeah. You're never getting on, buddy.
I'm never getting on, man.
on.
Well, the next one would be, who put the most hickeys on Devin's rear end? Said, we'll even it out.
You'll feel so much better.
Oh, God, there's a lot of local candidates for that.
Yeah, there are.
The Farm Bureau. I mean, who do you pick there? I mean, you, my gracious. Who you got over there? I mean, come on.
I like Larry Powell is not saying a word right now. No, nothing coming out of Larry.
Oh, Nathan Magzik put his tattoo on there, man. I love you, Nathan. We love you guys. We're just kidding you a little bit.
There goes our advertising.
Okay. Does Nathan advertise?
He did, yeah. He's not going to be able to. Not anymore. But
this will be known as Hickey Gate.
Clearly
Hickey.
What's worth? Hard choices. What was worth? What Jill Biden said 2 days ago, or what Alan Autry said with the Hickeys?
You got to admit that's a tough one, though.
Yeah, very, very hard.
Because right now, still, the political calculation that these candidates that are in the midterms have to make is really a very
yeah.
How much do you embrace him? They say, no, I don't want to put a hickey at that place, but I want to keep him close. I don't want to tick him off. He's going after Elon Musk.
Remember, why is
he going after Elon? Him and Elon going after each other now, which I think is horrible.
And I hope candidates are listening. The candidate has to be true to themselves.
Right.
Because people see through the fakeness. You can't be over there wearing a red hat 2 years ago. Yeah, make America great again. And then you're running for office saying, well, I just want to be very clear.
This turn the hat around.
Yeah, exactly. And it still says MAGA, just in smaller letters. But just be real, be genuine.
Great advice.
If you voted for the guy and you get asked, because I think a lot of candidates are going to be asked this question: did you vote for Trump? Don't give some wishy-washy answer like, well, that's the privacy of the ballot. But no, come on.
We talked about this.
In that answer, that's choice. If you say no, Biden, of course you voted for Trump. If you care about the country,
yeah.
Joe Biden was. You see what's happened, and we knew what was coming with this individual.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit before the show about Dick Morris's new book, which says that Trump will be president in 2024.
I like that.
So
who's he going to run against?
No, he didn't mention
Joe
that,
Biden.
I was thinking the other night.
Joe Biden.
No, Jill.
Jill
Biden.
Hey, it's all the same.
They're going to be running a Bodega in Brooklyn. Those two both together. Jill and Joe Bogota.
Bogota next to the laptop repair
right
shop.
There in Brooklyn. They already got their site there. They're going to be there.
With the morning taco.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was thinking the 2024 Republican primary race and the Democratic primary, I think is going to be fascinating. Because you're going to have DeSantis is going to run.
Oh.
Trump. You're probably going to have going through that primary and debating.
It's going to be
it's going to be mesmerizing television, right, Guillermo?
It's going to be vicious.
I think it's going to be must-see TV.
It is must-see TV, just like 2016 was. Yeah. This is going to be the sequel, like Maverick. I mean, it's going to be way better.
But you had nobody that could match Trump as an outsider. You've got DeSantis now.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him an outsider. I would.
Well, with Trump, you didn't have any in the mainstream.
Nobody gave him a chance in those days.
Yeah.
Who I forget who else was trying to run against him. Who was?
Oh man, Carly Fiorina, Rudy Giuliani. They had the JV. Remember the JV debates?
Team, yes.
And then
but you throw DeSantis in there, and there's a couple of other folks that may. I think Glenn Youngkin.
Oh, he's jumping in for sure. He's jumping in.
So you've got three very strong leaders.
Mike Pompeo.
So if they can adopt, now we should get all three of those if they run in the room and say, look, there's a biblical passage that says iron sharpens iron.
Right.
make sure you're sharpening each other's iron, not cutting each other's head off.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're going to be cutting each other up, Alan. It's going to be like a prison yard Gillette giveaway. Cut. I don't want to describe it.
Let me tell you,
Trump doesn't run.
The most exciting.
He has to run.
Yeah,
you want him to run.
I want him to run so bad.
We got to have a whole show on
the
that.
most exciting thing I think that's coming in 2024 is the bow tie that Guillermo chooses.
Yes.
When we do the show. Yeah.
I like it.
So
I
start
like
getting
it.
ready, Guillermo.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us. What a chunk of heaven it's been. Larry, thank you so much. Triple G, always an honor to have you with us, guys. And folks, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Remember, just do your best and let God do the rest. Do that. I guarantee you it's going to turn out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
God bless you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.
Happy trails to you. Keep smiling.
Oh, it's going to be a mess
Oh,
in 2020.